Yeah, good day, students. I hope you are coping with the online classes. Well, I want to remind us that the semester was already up and running when we had to go home because of COVID-19. So you do have some form of note and interaction already. But it is very important that we refreshing our minds on what we did before we went on a very long break of COVID and ASU strike. Well, as I said before now, sociology of drama is essentially a course that looks at the relationship between drama and society. That is the interplay between how drama influences or affects society and how society also influences what the playwright puts down as drama. You know, when you pick up a play to read, even though some people say it's a work of fiction, most often, most plays are actually works of faction. In other words, it's a blend of facts mixed with some element of creativity, and then we consider it to be fiction. If you look at Wole Soyinka's Trial of Brajero, for example, as much as it's a play to the ordinary person, someone that experienced the old Babbage in Lagos, where you have now have the Eco Atlantic project, will have a greater, better understanding of what that play is all about. Because in the 70s, when the white garment churches were just beginning to come up, what you witnessed in Trial of Brajero actually was the exact picture of what was going on then. The same thing we get to see in plays like Atomila's Death of a Salesman. It captures the whole treasure, the whole challenges of the American dream, and how if you don't measure up, you get blown away by the wind. So in this course, I usually emphasize that we should not pay too much emphasis on such things as form, structure, all those other things that we consider in other uh, playwriting classes, drama, modern drama, African modern drama, and all the rest of them. Because if you do that, you will miss the point. You know why? Basically, the best way to study sociology of drama is to study it like a sociologist, someone that studies the interplay, the relationship between man and his environment. So you are going to be looking at drama from the position of the relationship between you as an individual, your society, and the place. What are the things in this place that to a large extent are products of the society from which the plays are emanating from. You see, I usually tell people that it's absolutely nearly impossible for you to conveniently critique or talk about a culture you have not experienced. And that is what we'll be looking at in most of these plays and some short films and full feature films that we are going to analyze in the course of this class. You see, if you are not a Yoruba child, for example, reading and culturally understanding a play probably like Soyinka's Opera Wanyosi or Death and the King's Horseman, if you don't understand the culture, if you are not embellished in the culture, if you are not born in that culture, it will be very difficult for you to pick up the play, maybe somewhere in the US, and you just read it and you feel that you understand the play. The same way, it will be practically impossible for Professor Soyinka to have written the play if he did not grow up in Abeokuta and experienced all the nuances, all the cultural things that played out that influenced him in writing these plays. It's just like maybe your name is BC and you were born in Lagos and you decide to write a play about the Osu practice in Igbo land. You write a play, yes, but a lot will be missing from that play. So what are we saying? The playwright is a product of a society, and it is that society that determines what he puts down in his plays. It is the cultural motif, the cultural symbols, the cultural signifiers from his society that he puts down in his play. No matter how somebody says, oh, this is a fiction, this play is a fiction, this play is from my imagination. When I was undergoing training in the fine arts, we are taught to understand that even in imaginative drawing, imaginative painting, imaginative anything at all, it is what you have already seen that registered in your mind that has also become part of your schemata, your bag of knowledge that you go back to produce your so-called imagination. In other words, imagination is simply recalling from something you have witnessed. If you now decide to expand it or contrast it or do anything you like with it, that is your artistic license. But first and foremost, you put down what you have lived. This is the end of part 1 of this recording. I'll be back shortly.